Let's talk about what you'll need to be effective while watching these videos. The idea is that you'll be able to apply what you learn while you practice, and also eventually when you speak English more naturally, more authentically, and more confidently. So to do that, I would recommend that you have a mirror. Now you could have a big mirror like this. Some people like that. Other people prefer to use a smaller mirror. The reason for that is we'll be doing a lot of mouth movement exercises, and the bigger mirror is sometimes a bit distracting. So it's really up to you what kind of mirror you want to use. You could also use a webcam, but for most people a mirror is very effective. The advantage of the webcam, of course, is that you can record it. So it's up to you what you'd like to use. In addition, I recommend that you record yourself, so you might want to use a smartphone or another digital recording device. The advantage to this is you'll be able to hear your voice as you sound to others, which is very different from how you sound in your head. I also recommend that you don't use a video, that you use only audio recording, because that way you'll really focus on your voice and not how you look. We'll also focus on mouth movement, but that's a separate thing. In addition, you might want some type of a stand so that your recording device is in a good solid location. Then you can turn it on, set it aside, and forget about it until you finish your practice with me, and then you'll want to go back within about 48 to 72 hours and make sure that you listen back to all the practice that you did, because that's really the best way to learn, by revisiting how you sound and comparing it to the native sounds, which are the sounds you and I will be working with together. So to start that, let's take a look at some of the other things you'll need. One of those is the manual that I'll be using. This is the Guide to Speaking American English with Clarity and Confidence. We'll be referring to various pages in this guide as we go throughout the videos, and you may also want to reference the entire guide as you practice on your own. In addition to that, I recommend a phonetic dictionary. We'll be using what we call the IPA alphabet. There are different alphabets in different dictionaries. So the one you want to use is called the International Phonetic Alphabet, and even then this alphabet can change if you're speaking British English or Australian English or American English. That's why it's important before you start to get the right dictionary. Now these dictionaries are available for the smartphone, so you don't have to carry around a heavy dictionary. You can also get the version that you can use on the website. But just to show you what the dictionaries look like, the hard copy heavy variety, this is the Longman's Dictionary. I like to show it to you because notice it's yellow. There's a blue series, which is British, and a yellow series, which is American. And it's important to use an American dictionary with an IPA. The Longman's is very close to the alphabet that I use. The other option you have is the Cambridge English Pronouncing Dictionary. It doesn't matter which company you use. In fact, Oxford also has a phonetic IPA dictionary, but make sure that you're not using the British equivalent, that you're using the American one if you desire to learn the American accent. Otherwise, you'll see different symbols. Now, you may want to use a Webster dictionary or an American Heritage. These are great dictionaries, but not necessarily for pronunciation. So we're going to be focusing on speech, and that's why it's so important that you have access to an International Phonetic Alphabet dictionary. And again, you don't need to carry around a heavy book. You can use this on your smartphone, other device that you have, your computer, your tablet. It really doesn't matter, but an electronic version, just as good as the physical dictionary, maybe better. It's important to have that available to you so that the symbols we learn, and we're going to learn a lot of symbols, as we learn these symbols, you want to make sure that you're able to apply this as you practice. So that's really key. I also recommend having a notepad available, so when we talk about words that are challenging, you can jot them down. So have a pen or pencil. If you prefer to have a tablet device or other electronic device, that's fine as well. The idea is to have all your resources available to you so you can practice. Now, in addition to that, there's one more thing, and that is the breath. As you practice, you're going to want to have a tissue. So I recommend just your average tissue. All you need to do is grab one of these right out of here, and then you want to actually separate the tissue in two parts so that you have a very thin layer. And as we do this, you'll be using this layer to say words like shoe instead of tissue. Notice tissue sounds different than tissue. So to get that sound quality, we often use a tissue to do that. In addition, if you have a device like this is a pinwheel, you may not have one, but if you do, notice how nice it works for breath. So if you say the word breath and it doesn't move, that's something you need to practice and work on, like this, breath. So these kinds of devices can be very helpful. They can also make things more fun. And actually, there are a couple more things. One of them is a band. If you have a rubber band, and this is a packaging band, not a very thin band, the reason for that, you could also use a hairband, but the reason for that is you want some length in the sounds that you make. So having a rubber band available, and you want something squishy that's not going to hurt your fingers or give you welts on your fingers. So you want just a nice band that moves as you speak. Very important. And now, yes, lastly, have some water available. If you're drinking sufficiently as you do this work, it's a whole lot easier. Drink and stay hydrated. It's very good for your voice. So that's basically what you need to get started. So find these materials and then watch the next video.